Hey traders, Mike Sir here. Welcome to my weekly Trader Psychology live stream series where I help you with the mental side of trading. All right, today what we are going to talk about is the emotional roller coaster that us traders can sometimes get on. Sometimes we can get up on a high where things are doing extremely well, you cannot go wrong, and then you go down where things that you used to do before just don't work anymore. No matter what you do, you lose money. So, how can we prevent this type of roller coaster? For example, there would be certain years where you don't do that well. There's be certain months that you or do very, very well on. There's certain weeks that you lose money on, or there's certain, especially if you're a day trader, certain days or out of a week, from day to day, you make money, you lose money, you make money, you lose money. How can you overcome or how can you manage this type of emotional roller coaster in your trading? So, what I'm going to talk about today is specifically how you can maybe not get on this emotional roller coaster, or if you do get onto this emotional roller coaster, how can you ensure that the ride is a lot more smoother? How can you ensure that you don't experience the ups and downs of trading? So I'm going to go through that with you guys on today's live stream. All right, let's get started. All right, just a normal disclaimer, please consult your financial advisor before making financial decisions. All right, so the number one question that I get in terms of being trading being sometimes being on an emotional roller coaster, as I said, going on highs, going on lows, going on highs, going lows, profit up one day, profit down or loss the other day. How can you manage that? Well, the answer is you can't. Okay. In trading, if you are looking for a stable type of career in terms of a way to make money, trading is not the most stable type of profession, to be quite frank. I mean, I'll give you lots of other things if you do decide to get onto this emotional roller coaster, but for those who cannot stand the ups and downs of trading, where, as I said again, going through these profit and losses, that type of uncertainty, then you should not be a trader. Okay, um, because you will have years, and for those who have been trading for a while, go back to your trading history. Look at the years that you made a lot more than you maybe lost, or maybe there's years you lost. Go back to the months that you did much better versus other months that you didn't do well. If you're a day trader, look back on your weeks, certain weeks that on a day to day perspective, you did very well, certain days that you just things not working. And I think I shared this before with you is I remember there was this incredible streak that I was in where I was doing trading the same strategy, I was trading the same stocks, and quite frankly, every day I was in profit because the market was agreeing with me. The market was agreeing with the strategy. The market was agreeing with the stocks that I was trading in, that they would be moving in my direction. There's not a lot of volatility, basically just straight up. And look back for some of you guys who made money just in the past 2 years in 2021. You couldn't go wrong, right? Market's just in one direction. Okay. And but then look back in last year. Last year I've had, many traders reach out to me frustrated because things that were working before weren't working anymore. So, and then this year's been quite a roller coaster as well. You've seen very, very strong movements since the beginning of the year. And look at recently, just in the past few weeks, where it seems like we are in a bear market. So, how can you, sorry, let me look at, if you can't withstand that type of ups and downs, then maybe trading, quite honestly, is not for you. Okay. Now, we obviously don't like to be on the emotional roller coaster where we get highs and lows. And I'm sure you've heard the saying is, don't get too high when things are working too well, and don't get too low when things aren't working in your favor. Okay, so that's something to think about. Now, if you do decide to get on this emotional roller coaster as a trader, I'll give you some ideas in terms of how to not ensure the highs get too high and not ensure the lows get too low. So more of a little bit more consistent, okay, theme. I mean, sure, you'll have bumps along the way, but not have these extreme up and down movements. So the number one thing that I would suggest to you is, if you cannot stand this type of emotional roller coaster, do not trade volatile markets. Okay. And what I mean by that is specifically bear markets. Bear markets tend to have the most volatility, even though they're going straight down. But along the way, you'll have ups and downs, right? The market does not just go straight down. It will go straight down, go back up, right? Just recently, last week, sorry, I would say beginning of last week, we had incredible bearish, right? Down lot. And then just in the past, I think it was Wednesday afternoon, the market started recovering. And then Thursday, you had a strong movement. And then Friday, we opened up higher, and then we closed lower, right? So those are very volatile markets. If you can't stand those type of emotional roller coasters, don't trade those markets. Okay, that will get you, especially if you're only long and you're only buying, you would definitely be in fear. I mean, you'll have some type of reprieve. You think, oh, Wednesday afternoon, Thursday, Friday morning, great, going back up, and then suddenly on Friday afternoon, market sold off. Right? That is something you should try to avoid. Number two, don't trade big size. Okay, and some of you, have reached out to me before, and again asked me on these live streams that, well, how can I make a lot of money if I'm not trading big? That's true, but if you're not looking to go on these emotional highs, right? Consistency is the key. Is just trade smaller. And again, if you do trade the volatile markets, trade smaller. Yes, you can withstand these volatility, but your P&L won't be affected by that, right? Your P&L will not be rising up and down like that. So that will help you. A kind of a little bit of a suggestion on that is, yes, you can play a little bit bigger. However, what you would tell yourself is, okay, I only would play bigger once I'm in profit. So play small, okay? Once you position is in profit, or you've cashed up some profits, you now got some room to play with, right? Some profits to play with. Then you can play bigger so that if you do lose, you're only losing your profits. So that way, emotionally, you may be impacted just because you're playing bigger, obviously, because of the volatility, or because something's against you, you'll lose money, but it will soften the blow that it's not affecting your principal. And again, want to keep repeating is, my number one focus in trading is not to lose money. It's not to make money. It's not to lose money, because if I can protect myself in not losing money, well, what's the other two choices? Two, not make any money or make money. Okay, I don't want the third option of losing money. So that will help you a lot, in terms of not being in fear, not being so emotional, like seeing your losses compound. Is start small, but as your positions are working in your favor, and as you build your profits, you can play bigger. And if you play bigger and it works, the trade works for you in your favor, then you make more money, right? But if it doesn't, then you have your profits, your profits that you made before, to kind of cushion the blow. All right. Next one I would say to you, to not be on this emotional roller coaster, is don't try trading new stocks new types of trading instruments that you're not comfortable with, that you have not had a lot of experience with, or not trading certain stocks that you just don't know in terms of its personality, in terms of its movement. You may be you may be using a scanner to scan for certain plays. You just don't understand the movement of this type of stock, or you've never traded forex before, and you start applying the same type of skills in terms of analyzing the markets for that. Yes, you can, but if you start trading something new, or maybe you're trading a new strategy that you haven't really tested out. You maybe saw some videos of mine of discussing certain trading strategies, or other traders who made a lot of money in certain strategies, and you try to apply that. If you're not comfortable with those strategies, you're not comfortable with those type of trading instruments that you haven't really traded before, or have not become very comfortable with, you start doubting yourself. You start saying, oh, I'm using a new strategy. Oh, I'm not making money on this. So you start panicking. You don't really understand, and then you disregard your rules, right? So what I would say to you is only trade the things that you know. And when you trade the things that you know, you won't be that, you know exactly when things don't work in your favor, and then you'll cut your losses, right? Or you'll get your stop loss cut. But when you trade something new, and you trade something that you don't really know too much, and it's not working, like the trade's not working in your favor, you start fear. There's a sense of fear. There's a certain sense of uncertainty. There's a sense of, you don't know what the heck you're doing. Then you'll become you'll hop on this emotional roller coaster, on the way down, right? So what I suggest, again, don't try anything new until you really know what you're doing. And it's the same thing applied to you haven't you've only traded for maybe a few months, or a month or so, and you're so excited, you want to get into your trading, you want to make money, all that stuff, you dive right in, and then you lose money, right? Then again, it's signaling to you that you're just not sure yourself. And if you're not sure yourself here, how can you apply that uncertainty to the market, where the market is already uncertain? But think about it. If you apply something where you know exactly what you're doing, your mind is very clear, you know what you're risking, you're comfortable with everything, right? You're like, your mind's so strong right here. And given, let's just say, the volatility and all that stuff, like everything's all mess. But here, you're mentally very strong. You know what you're doing. Imagine, put yourself in that scenario. Do you think that you'll be able to withstand that emotional roller coaster much better than someone who little green under the ears, not really sure of the strategy, hasn't really tested it, has no stop loss, has not had a defined strategy, all the things that contribute to uncertainty, and then you're trading in a very volatile market. Okay, I mean, you guys know the answer, right? It's obviously the guy who mentally strong here. It doesn't mean that his strategy or her strategy will work. It doesn't mean that the trade that they put on will work, but they know when things do not work, they're okay with it. They're not going to be sucked in this emotional roller coaster, right? Because they know they're comfortable with the loss. They're comfortable with what they're looking for. It's just the trade didn't work out. Like I said a few weeks ago, where I said, there was a trade that I was super confident. I played, big size. It just didn't work. Like, it was working in my favor. It just didn't work. As I said, am I upset about it? Yeah, well, I'm not happy about it, but I'm not like upset where, oh, I'm so in fear and I'm not going to trade again, or I'm not going to trade this again. It just didn't work. Like, it fit all the criteria that I was looking for, and my mental here was strong. All right. Next thing, I want to talk about, again, if you guys have any questions, please type them in the question box. Next thing I want to talk about is getting rid of the get rich quick mentality. When you have this type of get rich quick mentality, which I will say to you honestly, I had that, right? Especially in the beginning of my trading career. Trading was my key to making millions. But when I didn't make it, then I started, having these emotional ups and downs, all that. Being realistic about trading, yes, you can make a lot of money, and a lot of traders that I profile, have made a lot. So there is the possibility. There is definitely the possibility for you to make a lot of money in trading. Okay, let's get that clear. But it doesn't mean that you have the tools. It doesn't mean that you have the skills. It doesn't mean that you have the experience or you have the knowledge, all that stuff, right? And the market, right? The market has to agree with you, right? So there's a lot of things. If obviously all those things lined up, you're mentally strong here, you're making money, you're being aggressive, yes, you can really hit it, okay? Which have a lot of experienced traders have. But for you to have this mentality, say, okay, I'm going to get rich quick, on trading all this stuff. And when you don't, that's when, you know, crap hits the fan. Okay. Because suddenly you only have this one mentality. You're going to make a lot of money. And then when it doesn't happen because you don't have a strong foundation, then that's when you become emotional. Okay. And I can tell you so many stories. I've been, banging my fist on the table until I get scars here. I've been cursing at myself. I haven't, broken any keyboards or anything like that. But emotionally, I was a mess just because I had that thinking of getting rich quick. And that's something that will definitely lead you to having emotional ups and downs in the market. All right, last thing I'm going to talk about before I take any questions from you guys. Obviously, again, to not be so emotional. And again, as I said in previous live streams, is that when you are emotional due to something that has happened in your life, maybe like I said, you had a fight with your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your husband, your wife, whatever, or something bad happened to you at work, or something, got in a car accident, whatever negative that is affecting your emotions, you bring that emotions into trading. And if you bring those emotionals into trading, of course, you're going to be on an emotional roller coaster, right? Because you're bringing all this negativity, or you bring all this heightened emotions into already a volatile, unpredictable markets where they're going up and down, right? And you're trying to trade in that scenario. As I said earlier, what do you think is going to happen? Of course, I mean this is so blatantly obvious, right? If I state it, right, because you're bringing your own emotions. However, if you're bringing a less emotional, your calmness, your patience, bring an unbiased opinion of the markets, bringing not a get rich quick, but let's see what I can do today, right? Where is the opportunity today, right? In terms of that mindset that you're bringing in, will be impacted, right, by what's going on in the market, right? Let's just say, okay, a scenario where you're bringing your all this volatility, right? Your emotional all that stuff, and then the market is not volatile at all, right? It's not moving. Do you not think your emotional at that time will kind of be calmed down a bit, right? I mean, again, emotions will fade, right? As you calm down, as you kind of talk things through. The market's not doing anything, so then you start calming down, right? You start to, okay, I got all this worked up, because I had a fight with my spouse or anything. Okay, market's not really doing much. Okay, now, okay, I can breathe. Okay, things are going okay. Okay, so then you're not really impacted, right? Because there's not really a lot of things moving on in the market. But Vice versa, right? If you bring all this heighten and then you all this volatility, right? All an opportunity, and then you get in and then oh, I lost money. Oh, get in, I'll make money, right? All that. Then of course you'll be in an emotional roller coaster. But again, imagine bring this all this calmness and then the volatility in the market. You know what you're doing. Okay, maybe you don't trade it, like I said earlier. Just don't trade volatile markets. Or the thing is, when you're volatile, you say, okay, you know what? I know exactly what I'm looking for. I know exactly the opportunity is just right here, and again, I'm just waiting for that opportunity. Okay, all right, I got in. Okay, it's moving in my favor. Okay, put my stop loss break even. Okay, let ride it up. Okay, let me take profit here. Right. So you're clear in that, even despite all the volatility going around in the markets. All right, so I hope I kind of given you guys an idea and some maybe trading hacks to just not be on this emotional roller coaster of highs and lows, right? I mean, quite frankly, I'll just leave you at this: is no matter what the result of your trade is, if you believe that you did your due diligence, you did your research, you did your analysis, you look at technicals, you look at fundamentals, you look at your setup, you're comfortable with the risk, your state of mind is very solid, you're patient, you did everything that you think is enough, okay, to put on a trade. And if the trade results in a loss, doesn't matter. Losses hit, take the hit, take the loss. Okay, next opportunity. Okay, that's how you should be thinking versus you didn't do enough, and then let's just say you did make a profit and you feel really good about yourself. You should say to yourself, no, you know what? Even though I was lucky in terms of getting this profit, I should have done my due diligence better. This wasn't the right setup. I just got lucky here because I didn't set a stop loss. It actually I was down like over 10%, and then suddenly recovered, and now I'm back up 10%. Right. So things like that. You got to know what you're doing right, irregardless of whether it resulted in a profit or a loss for you. All right, guys. So hope you guys enjoyed that my talk today. So all right, Richard again. Yeah, hey Richard, representing from Africa. All right, good to hear from you. That gentleman, what's the name? Is hello, Mike, from UK. All right, hello UK. All right, Richard says regarding emotional roller coaster, my trading improved when I started compounding trade results on quarterly basis. Therefore, if 2 or 3 months are losses, the third month uh, or compensates. So, Richard, I mean, you know your track record, you know your performance. Um, if you plan that in advance, right, you know that's your stats, then you should be worried. Like, for example, I've got guys very, very successful where they know their track record in terms of their win loss ratio. They know that they're going to lose more than they win. So when they lose, okay, that's fine. I got other trades that I don't mind losing more until I know that I'm going to win, right? So I've got traders only 30% win loss ratios, right? Out of 10 trades, okay, to lose one, okay, great. I got another 7 to lose, right, or another 6 to lose before my historical track record doesn't work in my favor, right? So knowing your stats will allow you not to be emotional. And I think, and again, Richard, you can't just remind me, the most important thing, not being in this emotional roller coaster, is, hey, losing money is normal. Losing is normal. Okay, I want to repeat that. Losing is normal. If you don't lose money in trading, okay, I'm not talking about overall, but if you don't lose money on one particular trade and you only have winning trades, 100% winning ratio, then I would tell you that you're lying. Okay, or number two, you're just extremely, extremely lucky, right? So losing is normal. Once you say, okay, loss, hey, no big deal. So you're not affected by this emotion. Oh, I lost money. Well, hey, it's normal. as long as you make more than you lose, right? If you don't lose and you only win, it's impossible, right? However, if you keep losing, and losing, right, you need to obviously reflect, hey, what's the reason why, right? Instead of being very emotional about it. All right. David says, hey, everyone, I'm late. Hope there's a work recording. Yes, there is recording after, so you can watch this after. All right. Next person says here, Black Fox, sorry, it was glitches. Okay, earlier in the conversation. Okay, so yeah, I'm not sure why. All right. Richard says, you're on point, Mike. Exactly my thought process on the market. Yeah. All right. If there's no more questions, I will let you guys know next week I will be talking about take profits early. Actually, next week's live stream might not be scheduled yet. It's just depending on an event that I'm volunteering at. It's an event for Alzheimer's, and it's a disease that has impacted a lot of millions of people all around the world. Not to share too much, but I do have a family member who does have Alzheimer's, so it's something that is very close to my heart. So I'll let you guys know very shortly if the event is running, where I'll be able to volunteer my services too, or again, not really providing these training services. I'm just merely helping out with an event that the Alzheimer's Association is sponsoring. So I'll let you guys know. But the next live stream that I will be hosting either next week or the following week is take profits early. We've all been in a scenario where we take profits way too early, only to see the profit more than make much more profits for us. So it's something that definitely think will help in terms of you trying to maximize your profits, because the goal is really maximize your profits and minimize your losses. Those are obviously the key. All right, just going to extend this a little bit. Got two more questions from two people here. Paul says, how do you deal with a gaming mentality related to revenge trading? All right, so I have had gamers, had students of mine, and I've worked with some of these gamers where in gaming there's no losing, right? I mean, you just lose, right? You just get killed, or you lose the game. It doesn't affect you as much, or for some people it does affect. And I played games before where I just kind of sabotage myself in the game, and go rogue, all that stuff, just because I really want to win, and I'll do whatever I set myself up to get myself killed, or all that type of stuff, right? But okay, Paul says gambling mentality. Okay, similar in some gaming or gambling mentality. Well, I mean, quite frankly, the biggest thing that I would say, and maybe Paul, you can watch my videos on trading is not gambling. People think trading is gambling, but if you go through the process of it, it's actually not gambling. How I would say gambling is there has to be some form of advantage or edge. If there isn't, then you're just basically based on luck, right? Obviously, and again, said in my previous streams, where luck does, unfortunately, I mean, not unfortunately, but it does play in, but it's something that actually I'll be discussing in another live stream. But in terms of revenge trading, again, I have another video on that. Just look that up in my library. But I'll just kind of address this very, very quickly. Is you have to have boundaries. You have to have things set in stone that if you lose up to this amount, you have to cut yourself, right? So there are brokerages out there where it automatically cuts you off once you set it, saying that you cannot lose more than this. Okay, so they do have that in gambling apps, especially sports gambling apps, where it won't let you trade more until it reaches your maximum loss. So that is one aspect. The second aspect is obviously when you when you're losing and you just want to make it all back, that type of mentality is not suitable for trading, right? So then therefore, if you get into that revenge mode, you just got to say, listen, shut off the computer and just walk away. Okay, that's the biggest thing, and write that in front of you, that if you lose certain amount, shut off the computer. Okay, or if the trade does not meet this type of criteria, then you don't trade. Okay, again, watch my video on revenge trading. That will help you a lot. All right, Daniel says, how do you develop the mindset to be content with small gains and prevent greed? That's a very, very good question, because how can you prevent greed? Who does not want to make more money, right? I do. I'm greedy, right? So the biggest thing, and I think I said this also in one of my live streams too, is you got to know what your objective is, right? Like if you were saying, okay, I want to make a lot of money, but I don't want to take a lot of risks. Okay, that's fine. I want to make a lot of money, but I don't want to trade that big. Well, you can't. I mean, it's like you're trying to turn something into something much bigger when you're not willing to trade bigger, right? You're looking for home run trades where the possibility of this home run trade happening is not possible, or you're looking for home run trades, but you're unwilling to trade big side. You're unwilling to buy penny stocks. You're unwilling to trade with big leverage. Just trying to trade with just large cap stocks that don't move up or down more than 5%, and you hope to get rich from that. Or you're trading a strategy where it's not volatile at all, that you won't make all this profits. You see what I'm trying to get at is you have to put yourself in a position. And when you put yourself in that position, obviously, again, talk about risk and all that stuff, but you still have to ensure that you're comfortable with that type of style. And again, I've had so many students I work with, or traders I work with, where the mindset that, okay, I want to make a lot, I want to make $1 million, but I've only got $100 to work with, or only got $1,000 to work with, or I've got $100,000 to work with, but I'm not looking to trade this aggressive. I'm looking to trade very conservatively, right? So that's what I meant by you got to know what you're like comfortable. Like who, like I said, who doesn't want to make a lot of money? But you just have to be comfortable with whatever situation you put yourself in. Okay. And if you say to yourself, you have to be honest with yourself that if you are not comfortable with that, don't, right? It's not that you're saying that you can't make more money from it. It's just that you have to be comfortable and content with that. Now, people who that I've seen and traders who have made a lot of money, they have taken a lot of risk. Okay, and I'm not saying it's unnecessary. I'm talking about it's being calculated risk. It's about also timing, right? It's also about the market agreeing with you, right? Those are the scenarios where people really make a lot of money from smaller amounts of money, right? The timing and the mindset and all that stuff. But if you are someone who can't stand that type of environment, or just trying to change yourself into that environment, or don't want to put yourself in that scenario, then you just have to be content. Or maybe what you can do is just say is, okay, I'm content with all these gains. So I built all these gains. Okay, now I've got, let's just say, $10,000 to risk. And let's just say you see an opportunity that you really like and meets all your criteria, all that stuff. And you say to yourself, okay, how much of that $10,000 that I really grinded hard to make all these small gains, I'm going to put it all on one trade, levered, right? So if if the trade doesn't work out, I lose, the entire, let's just say I lose 5,000, half of the gain, and you're comfortable with that, right? Then go ahead, because that 10,000 or the $5,000 you risk, and in a very aggressive manner, suddenly became another $10,000 profit. Now you got $20,000 in capital. Now you got $10,000. Sorry, now you got $20,000 to in profit to work with. And then let's just say, instead of risking all of it, okay, now 10,000. I have $10,000 that I'm risking half my profits to try to make more. Okay, then that way it it allows you to just risk your profits. I mean, to be in simplistic manner. But again, you have to be comfortable with that, because I've, again, seen scenarios where people grind all this let's just say $10,000 profit, and then they see a great trade, and they're timid, right? They say, oh no, I don't want to risk all my 10,000 profit. I just maybe risk $100 of it, and then now you're complaining, saying, oh, I'm not making that much money. Well, it's because you're not risking enough. All right, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this live stream. I'm, again, extremely passionate about helping you guys with the trader mindset. I've been through so many ups and downs in my trading career. In fact, I'm on my 23rd, 24th year. Got lots of experience to share with you. So please make sure that you keep attending all my live streams. Lots of really good trading nuggets for me to share with you. All right, guys. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Talk to you guys next. Take care.